So following up from my previous update, you can see that it has been on a downtrend, and I mentioned that we had a correction that was forming. And you can also see that on this move to the downside, we briefly lost the 200 EMA, and that then led to this move to the downside where we then breached below the wave 1 or the wave 2 origin at 65.95 cents. And as a result, that then discounted the possibility of a bigger 5-wave structure forming where the third wave could have topped off at 69.38 cents. And then we have the wave 4 playing out, followed by that reversal to the upside to then complete the fifth wave, where that fifth wave had the potential to tap into this range here. And yeah, instead, we ended up having the 5-wave structure form where the fifth wave ended up topping off at 69.38 cents. And here we are now within this corrective move to the downside. So if I drop down to the 5-minute chart, I mentioned we had this WX structure that was playing out where the double wave was also made up of an internal WX Y structure, where it looks like the double wave ended up bottoming out at 67.58 cents. And then we had this sharp move to the upside to complete the X wave, where we topped off at 68.37 cents. And then we had the Y wave that played out, where we then bottomed out at 66.57 cents. So very quickly, if I bring in the Fib tool and bring this up to 68.37 cents, so you can see that we ended up tapping into the typical range for the Y wave, which is anywhere between 1 to 1.236. And you can see that we ended up tapping into that region. So that then formed this WX structure, and we had this corrective move to the upside where we ended up topping off at 68.5 cents, and then we saw a reversal to the downside where we breached below the wave Y at 66.57 cents. And that then confirmed that we had a deeper corrective move to the downside made up of a bigger WXY structure. And so once again, if I bring in the Fib tool and bring this up to 68.5 cents, and yeah, you can see that the Y wave also tapped into its typical range between 1 to 1.226, where we ended up bottoming out at 65.64 cents. And since then, we are seeing this surge to the upside where we then breached above the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA on the 5-minute chart. And if I go back on the hourly chart, you can see that we did wick above the 50 EMA. And so it's possible that we ended up completing this WX structure and we could see a reversal to the upside. Now, it would be interesting to see what structure is actually forming right now, because it's possible that the Y wave could have topped off and we end up falling short of this typical range here. Or alternatively, it's possible that we are still within this Y wave, and what we could have forming within this Y wave is an internal WX structure, where this move here to the upside could have formed the wave W, and this move to the downside could have formed the wave X. And we have the wave Y that's playing out right now, where this wave Y could also be made up of a WX structure, where this 5-wave structure could form the W wave, and this corrective move to the downside that we witnessed could have formed the X wave, and then we see that final push to the upside to then complete the Y wave. And if that's the case, what I'll do is I'll set out the Y wave target. So here we reach 69.65.64 cents. So if I bring this to the right position, so that Y wave could potentially reach anywhere between 70.88 cents to 72.18 cents. And so this range also sits within this bigger target that I set up previously. And so it is possible that we have this Y wave that's playing out right now. But like I mentioned, it is possible that we could have topped off the Y wave at 69.38 cents. And if that's the case, what we could have forming is a deeper corrective move to the downside, where this WXY structure could have formed the W wave, and we could have the X wave that's playing out right now, followed by that reversal to the downside to then form the Y wave. And you can see that the Y wave has the potential to tap into this buy order block, and so it is possible that the bears could push the price of ADA down towards this region. But of course, that will be a good opportunity to be buying in, because I will be anticipating a reversal to the upside where we continue to see high highs. But for now, I'm looking out for a WXY structure to play out within this Y wave and for ADA to tap into this range. And you can see that on the stochastic RSI, on the hourly chart, the bulls do have the momentum. And so I'm looking at for the bulls to continue to regain control of the market. And the same can be said on the 4-hour chart, where we are within the oversold conditions right now. And so I'm looking at for the bulls to push the price of ADA up towards high highs. And it's possible that we could actually retest the 200 EMA at 72 cents and then we get rejected. And if that's the case, what I'll be looking at for in the midterm is for a bigger double XR structure to play out, like so. But of course, that's something I'm going to be tracking in the days and weeks to come, and I'll keep you guys updated. So yeah, that's a smart update on Cardano ADA. Hopefully you found it useful, and if you did, then feel free to hit the like button, and if you're new, feel free to subscribe. Take it easy, people. Peace.